Welcome to the Diary of the 1%, a podcast for those who refuse to settle for the ordinary and are determined to create a life of excellence. If you have ever wondered what sets top achievers apart from the rest, you are in the right place. I am your host, and my name is Rachael Wilson. This is episode 12 of this podcast. The title of this podcast is Do Not Quit, the woman who refused to quit. Have you ever stood at the edge of a dream that seemed just out of reach? Have you ever been told no so many times that you started to believe it? That maybe, or just maybe, you weren't enough? If that's you, then lean in, because today's story just might be the dose of hope you did not know you needed. This isn't a story about overnight fame. It's not about luck, privilege, or being in the right place at the right time. It is about refusal. The refusal to quit, even when failure comes again and again and again. This is the true story of a young woman who was walking in the back of a Target store when a complete stranger looked at her and saw what she had not yet seen in herself: greatness. Her name is Dashana Barber. And she did not just become Miss USA. She made history as the first military officer to ever win the crown. But her road, it was long. It was painful. It was full of no's. And yet, she kept going. So today, if you have ever felt like giving up, I want you to hear this story, because it might just give you the strength to try one more time. Dashana Barber was 19. It was summer break from college, and like a lot of students, she took a summer job to make ends meet. For her, it was stacking boxes and organizing shelves at Target. It was just another day at work, just like every other day, when she crossed paths with a woman named Leslie Modern. A stranger, a customer, just passing through. Leslie looked at Dashana, paused, and then asked her something that immediately put Dashana on the edge. She asked her one of the annoying questions that you can ask a colored man in the United States of America. Where were you born? Here, Dashana replied. I was born here. She looked confused. Do you have kids? Leslie asked again. No, responded Dashana. Are you married? Still confused, Dashana answered, no. Is there something I can help you with? And then came the unexpected response. You are so beautiful. Have you ever considered entering a pageant? Now, Dashana did not know what to make out of that. Beauty pageants? That was not even on her radar. But Leslie wasn't just making conversation. She was serious. Leslie was a former Miss Texas USA contestant. She had an eye for the pageant world, and when she looked at Dashana, she did not just see a store associate. She saw a future queen. Leslie told her, you could be the Miss USA. Dashana was skeptical. She did not even own a pair of ears at the time, let alone a gown. But Leslie saw something in her, and she wouldn't let it go. They met the next day at Starbucks. Leslie came with a whole stack of pageant books. Tips, rules, practice, questions, a plan, and just like that, the spark was lit. After the conversation, Leslie eventually convinced Dashana to enter into the contest. 3 months later, Dashana stepped on the pageant stage for the very first time. Yeah, like the very first time. After a whole lot of tutelage, counseling, training, practices, plans on the board. But she did not win. But hey, it was just her first time, maybe next year. So she tried again the following year. She did not win. The third year, no crown. The first year, still a no. Guess what? She went ahead the 5th year. Nope, there was no crown. The 6th year, she still went ahead. and still a no. Now pause a moment. Pause a moment. Imagine that for a second. 6 years, 6 attempts, 6 times putting out yourself there, prepping, training, investing your time, your money, your energy, and walking away empty-handed. After her 6th loss, Dashana broke down. She called Leslie in tears and asked the question that had been building inside of her for years. But you told me I could win. You told me I could be the Miss USA. And Leslie, with that same calm certainty she had on the very first day she saw her, simply said, "You will win. Just keep going." That belief, that put courage into Dashana again. It kept Dashana alive inside. But life, as it often does, can hit you with heartbreak when you least expected it. About 6 months before what would be Dashana's 7th attempt, she went to check Leslie's Facebook page, and there was the obituary. Leslie had passed away from leukemia. Dashana did not even know she had been sick. No one had told her. No one even knew how close they really were. She had lost the one person who believed in her before she believed in herself. The woman who planted the seed. The woman who poured into her year after year. Gone. So painful. That 7 years, something shifted. Dashana stepped onto the stage at the Miss District of Columbia USA competition. The same stage she had walked so many times before. Same dream, same nerves, but this time she won. She finally won. 6 months later, in June 2016, Dashana stood under the bright lights on a national stage, representing the District of Columbia, and become the first military service member to ever be crowned Miss USA. And somewhere you have to believe Leslie was smiling. Dashana did not stop with the crown. She used her platform to become a fierce advocate for something deeply personal, mental health, especially for military personnel suffering from PTSD. Having served in the Army Reserve herself, she knew the struggle and she knew the silence. Her speeches, they are electric. Not just because of how she delivers them, but because of how she speaks. She tells people that beauty isn't about what's on the outside. It's about resilience. It's about showing up again and again and again, even after the world has told you to stop. As I was researching Dashana's journey for this episode, I came across one of her most powerful speeches. It was a closing remark at a leadership event, and it moved me so deeply. So I want to leave you with her words. No edits, no addition, just Dashana speaking her truth. And it goes thus: do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret. Giving up is the birth of regret. At times, our purpose drops on our laps as if the heaven threw it by accident. Do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret. Giving up is the birth of regret. You will have 100 moments that will be filled with someone telling you no. The reality of life is that we will all hear more no's than we hear yeses. And we will fail a lot. And when I mean a lot. But what I ask of you is to not take a no for an answer. Don't be afraid of no's. Be afraid of the possibility of a yes that you have prematurely destroyed because you decided to quit before the clock strikes 12. So this is my closing remark. Dashana's story is more than inspiring. It's a reminder that greatness really comes easy. And sometimes the people who change our lives are the ones we never saw coming. If you are listening to this today and you are on the verge of giving up on your dream, on your goal, on yourself, I hope you hear this. Don't stop. You never know. Your year 7 might be just around the corner. Until next time, keep showing up, keep believing, and whatever you do, do not quit. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Diary of the 1%. If you find this helpful, subscribe, comment, like, share, and lastly, hit the notification button so you get notified when the next episode drops. Thank you.